I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love. Whenever lost, whenever down, you know what to do, to do. There's no mountain I won't climb, be right by your side, right by your side. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love. I found a miracle, I found the dream. Living is beautiful with you and me. I found a miracle, I found the dream. Living is beautiful with you and me. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love. You know I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love. You know I'm crazy for love.
Well, hello, planners. Oh my goodness, you guys. I love it. You are all so busy saying hello, whoops, to each other. I've got my go on live alarm on, so I better make sure I go and mute that. How are you all? I do appreciate you guys saying hello already to each other. Sorry, make sure I turn this off so then I am not gonna be buzzing. Now, confession. Uh, Saturday, Sunday, this whole week, my mood's up and down. Didn't feel like, well, not didn't feel like going on today. It's just I didn't have anything planned on for today. So I am feeling lack of motivation, maybe lack of discipline, the "well, I don't want to, little attitude. So today I'm going to talk to you about three strategies that you can do if you're in the same boat. So I see a lot of you are saying hello in there. Thank you so much. I know. Hello, Mylene. This is the first time I've seen you in the chat. So if you're new, thank you so much for joining me. We've got Stephanie, my Angela. Hello, Elle, Lena. I think Lena as well. You're new to the chat, at least. Thank you so much for joining me. We've got Marsha. Hello, Karen. Alif. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you all welcoming each other. May, hello, how are you? Thank you, thank you. I do appreciate it. It is a marvelous day, Marsha. And as you all know, I do love coming on here and it always picks up my mood. So whether I have anything properly planned for today, please forgive me if my planning session is not going to be, all according to plan. If I make mistakes, do forgive me, because that's what this is all about. So I love went to school. Oh, I love it. You guys know, same part of the world. I do appreciate you all. And he, Marianne, so proud of you for setting up your workshop on the 25th. I know. Oh my God, that is so exciting. I'm so nervous and excited all together. You may think you are doing a ton, but wow. May not think you're doing a ton, but wow. I'm so proud of the progress you're making. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Yes, it's one of those do it scared, do it unknown, and so just it does, and if I make mistakes, that's what life's all about, right? And that's I'm going to look at it as a learning opportunity. So hello, Adriana, thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Noe, hello from Argentina. I love your videos. Thank you so much. Oh guys, you guys are so loving and so welcoming of each other. Grateful that Marianne can bring us all together, and I'm so happy and so thankful I have this community that I can feel like it's my crowd. It's like as if all of us are just joining up for coffee. So whether wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, have your favorite beverage, and we'll get started very soon. So like I said, pretty much this is my the last week, 12th to the 18th. And so this is where we're going to be at today. So like I said, if you are lacking motivation, the discipline to do whatever it is, so I'm going to use my planning as an example of, what to do when you don't feel like it, when you don't have the discipline, or you just like, I can't be bothered. So I'm going to talk about 3 strategies that you can use. And like my little tagline, it's we're here to plan, let's do it, and then if it's not working, let's review it. So that's where this is where I'm coming from today with regard to let's make mistakes together, let's just work it all out. All right, so now if I do miss any or important comments or chat, just flag it back up to me, because you guys have been so chatty already, and so I don't want to miss out anything. If you do have a question and I haven't addressed it, just flag it again and just say everything. So of course, if you are watching on replay, hello, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you also comment in the comment section to say where you are tuning in from. So I guess without further ado, let's just get all started, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to do today. So let me get this all sorted. So I woke up around about 2 o'clock this morning going, I just got to go on and let's just do this. So the first thing you really want to do if you're not feeling it and you just don't want to do anything is just start small with micro goals. Now I am getting a little bit hot hot flushes. I've got my cooling fan on, so I'm going to put that because I can feel myself sweating. So start with micro goals. So just if you've got an overwhelming task in front of you, so for me, like I said, I'm going to use my planner setup as an example. But if you have a project, if you have a room you need to clean, if you have whatever it is, your job that's outside of the home or inside the home, break it down into small micro goals. So for me, at the moment, this can be daunting because let me just say, like, I love this setup, but what happens, of course, when I've got so many other things happening, like Stephanie said, I do have my free webinar happening next week. So I've been concentrating on that. So what happened with this particular setup is in the current week I didn't touch it. So here I tried to track my self-care, homeschooling, work and sleep like throughout a 24-hour period. I didn't do it because I was busy. So I am actually going to just sort of like veer away from this setup for this week just to see a little difference. And so for me, it's like I'm looking at it and going, well, where do I start? So let's start micro goals. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add the weather forecast. So I've got my I looked at my Apple Watch to see what the weather is for where I am. So I've just written it down to save me some time. So today it's going to be stormy, and we do Celsius, instead of Fahrenheit. So it's 22 to 24. And then tomorrow it's going to rain. So we are finishing up our summer season here in Sydney, Australia, and in March is the autumn season. So that's why the weather is, quite rainy and stormy. So the change of the season. So the reason why I like to put the weather onto my weekly planner is because my husband works outside of the home, and my oldest son, who's 16, goes to a mainstream school. So he travels to and from school, door to door. It's 45 minutes each way. So, of course, the weather could be different when he's coming back home. And so, if it's going to rain, I want to make sure that they have umbrella, or if it's, now that it's going to go into the colder season, that they will have a jumper or a jacket, so when they are coming back home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or my husband at 5:30 in the afternoon, they're equipped, because we know that the weather, of course, affects your mood. If you're not prepared, it just throws things out of whack, right? So that's the first thing. If that's all I can do for my setup, that's a start. So start with small, with micro goals. So whatever it is, break it up. Talk about, or write it down in your planner. What is the specific physical action that you need to do? Let's just say you got to get your car, into the mechanic and maintain. So the thing that you would put on your list isn't, car needs to get looked at or needs to be checked. The first thing is you would go and, get the phone number from your phone, or your phone book, showing my age here. And then the next step is call the number. So then see how by breaking it down into small micro goals, actionable pieces, isn't so daunting. So if you're lacking motivation, if you are lacking the discipline, just start very small. So that's the first thing I would suggest, is if you are feeling a little bit, lackluster, or you're procrastinating. Now, procrastinating, actually, one of the things that happens when you procrastinate is because you're uncertain, right? You don't know what to do. So one of the things to remove the uncertainty is to then just write the most use verbs, right? Use action words when you are planning. So instead of just saying read, read 4 5 minutes, right? So then really specific and actionable. Hello, Tatiana. Hello from the US. Motivation has been a big topic lately. Jay said Shetty did a podcast that was helpful and called 8 Scientifically Proven Ways to Stay Motivated Before You Get Off Track. Exactly. And the reason is the newness of the New Year's goals and New Year's resolutions. A lot of things that we set out for the new year is now February. Most of the time, I think there's a certain percentage, over 50% of us, fall off the wagon of the things that we want to achieve. So it's, there's no more newness to it, and so the hype of new year, new me, sort of like fades away. And so that's where motivation does fall off. Hello, Tat. I'm listening to Jay Shetty's book about thinking like a monk. Great stuff. Excellent. Awesome, Stephanie. Hello, Stan. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. So that's the start goal. And then what I'll do off camera is I'll write down the temperature range. So I normally write it here in Sydney, Australia, regardless of whether it's summer, autumn, spring, or winter. Pretty much, well, maybe not winter, but pretty much the temperature is around about the same, 21 to 23, and humid. So on the Australian map where I live, it's the east coast, so next to the water. So quite humid. So Stan says, I've been meaning to do something about my procrastination, but I keep putting it off. You, Stan, funny guy. I love and that's what I do too. And I make a lot of excuses for myself. So when you just start small, it's really important. Now, the next thing we can do is use the 2-minute rule. So this methodology is coined by David Allen in his book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And I also did put the 5 minute rule, which is another thing that James Clear, the Atomic Habits. So I've got the books linked in the description. And the 2 minute rule is if you can do something in 2 minutes or less, just do it. Don't put it in your planner. Just go and do it. Put the, if you've got a timer on your Apple Watch or on your phone, put it for 2 minutes. Just do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off, and then it'll start to build onto your to-do list. So, and also the 5 minute rule. So this 5 minute rule, you can change it to 5, 10, or 15 minutes, where just do something for 5 minutes. So that could be, all right, if I want to exercise for the week, or, for the day, just walk around the block for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So you pick whatever time frame you want. So for me, one of the things I was going to do today was, you know what? If I didn't feel like going on and, going on my full live stream for an hour, let's just go on for 5 minutes. And then if I go, I don't feel like it, then I could just go, bye everybody. There's my 5 minutes. So I'm going to put my 5 minute timer on just to see what, here we go, what I can do in 5 minutes. And what normally happens when you do set a time, oh, that's 3 minutes, Marianne, when you do set a little timer for yourself, the actual thing is the getting going, so it's the getting going that sort of stops you from getting going. So why not just do it for 5 minutes? And then a lot of times you do it for longer. So here at the top on my weekly spread, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use the time blocking. I don't know yet. Like I said, we're going to plan it, we're going to do, and we're going to review midweek. So the first thing I want to put here is, so I'm not going to use the time blocking, but I'm going to put my 5:30 a.m. live stream. So that's the first thing. And guess what? After this live stream, I can tick that off. Isn't that fabulous? I've already done something this week. Stan, hello, Stan. And then on, also go to have to do my my welcome emails, the third one in my little sequence. So that's an important thing. So I need to make sure. So on your planner, the first thing you should really be looking at, if nothing else, is go and plan your top 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 priority of the day. So then if nothing else gets done, and then you do those 1 to 2 or 3, whatever it is, that day is a win. And then if you want, you can list all your other tasks and to-do list, but create a priority of the day. So then you go and try and do it either one of the first things in the morning or when your energy level is high. For me, morning, before 12:30, I can get so much done. But then after that, after lunch, the energy level starts to get lower, and then really after our homeschooling. So I homeschool my younger son, who's 15 now, and he's on the autism spectrum. And he and I, by 1 o'clock or after lunch, we are spent. So if you're going to action any of your top priority, if you're not a morning person, do it when you have the most energy. So then that way you get it done. So on the other thing that I have for Tuesday, so I've got a 5 o'clock coaching call that let me just put this way, an online course that I do, and then I have another at 6 o'clock. So yes, I am a glutton for punishment. I like to wake up very early in the morning, and I do a lot of online courses that are run from the US. And so of course, their Pacific time or Eastern Standard Time to my Australian Eastern Standard Time is very, very early in the morning for me. But it's something that I am investing in myself. I want to make sure that I am on top of my learning and increasing my skill, because those are one of the things that bring me joy. So, you have to make sure whatever you're doing nowadays, do it that something that matters to you. Don't do something. There is no more time in the world to do something that you don't find joyful, or it brings you down, or it makes you feel like I don't want to do this. Let's just say for example, say, going live on my Monday, most of your Sunday evening or afternoon, let's just say it's not something I like to do, then I wouldn't do it. Like, I could easily go to you guys, I'm sorry everybody, but 5:30 a.m. live for me is just, it's draining me, right? So I got to change it, or I'm not going to do it anymore. But guess what? I know after each live, and I've told a lot of you this, is my mood is lifted. It starts my week beautifully. It starts it off on a beautiful note, that I get to hang out with you, and at the same time, do the things that I enjoy, which is planning my day, not just as a productivity thing, but as a form of my self care. So, for those of us that are here in the chat, and of course that do watch the live, we love planning, we love planners, we love stationery, washi tapes, and stickers. Now, for those that don't like to embellish their pages, that is fine too. You can find joy in other things that you do. If those people that play, those games, the switch, I'm I'm thinking maybe I should buy one of those, but probably it's not something I would enjoy, right? If you like crocheting, if you like knitting, if you like reading, if you like going for a walk, do something that brings you joy, like Marie Kondo says. So all right, so that was 5 minute was up, and here I am talking away, but I'm going to keep going. So what I'll do here on my planner, so whether you have a ring planner, disc bound planner, undated, dated planner, if you have a weekly setup like this, it's a really great way to plan, because it gives you a bird's eye view of your week. So then you can plan. If you have, also make sure, very, very important, is you schedule for your days off. Don't put anything on days that you want to take as a day off, or don't put anything more on days that are already have a lot of tasks and to do on it, because what will happen, you'll just not do it, because you just feel overwhelmed and you'll just feel stressed. So having a weekly plan out like this allows you to go, well, I'm not going to do anything on Friday, because Friday is my day off. Or I'm not going to put any more tasks. This is for me, a lot of things on a Monday, because I have my live, and then of course I want to make sure I'm taking my breaks in between. We start our homeschooling at around about 9:30, 10 a.m. So I want to make sure that I don't put any more tasks in the afternoon, because I have learned for myself how important that breaks and taking the time off to replenish, right? It's like repairing your mind, repairing your body, so then you can then action something again the next day. And then what I found also really, really important, I'll try and write and talk at the same time. What I found as well is, how when you feel like, oh, if I take a break, then I'm going to be even further behind. No, I'll tell you a secret. No, because what happens is you rest, your mind is clearer, you get clarity, and then something that would actually take you a lot longer when you're feeling tired or overwhelmed, you just go, you can think straight, and you go, you know what? I don't need to do that. I'll either need to delegate that, or it's not important today, I'll do that another day, or not do it at all. But then when you're overwhelmed, you feel like, oh, I got to do this, and I got to do that, and then that actually makes you fall behind even further. So don't ever think that by taking a break, you're going to slow yourself down. No, it's like that. Someone had said it's like the slingshot, right? So then you need to pull it back in order for it to, to go further than if you just, pull it a little bit, and then it, the rock or the stone just goes bloop into, just in front of you. But in order for the slingshot and the rock, or the, whatever it is, you need to pull the rubber back, step back a little bit, hold it, rest, aim, fire, and then it'll go a lot further. So make sure you are scheduling in your break. Let me just meeting here with everyone helps my mood as well. It doesn't it? It does. And I say to Stephanie, I say to my husband, Stephanie will be there, the plannerets and the crespers, so everyone is so kind and has wonderful tips and tricks. Exactly. And so, I love getting tips and tricks from you guys. And so it's really important that community as well is one of the things that help bring us joy. All right, so where was I with my tip? I was up to the 2 minute rule, right? So if you can do it in less than 2 minutes, do it now. Don't worry about writing it, just get it done, out of the way. Gone, all finished. Or the 5 minute rule, according to James Clear, is just do 5 minutes of it. If it's exercise, just put your sneakers on. And that's it. If that's all you can do, put your sneakers on, walk around the house with your shoes and sneakers on, or 5 minutes around the block, or 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. Or for me, what I've been using the 5 minute rule for, or rather, I do 15 minutes. Because I do know I do it a lot longer than 5 minutes, is the cleaning, the daily cleaning. So I'll put my timer on and then I'll just go, all right, I'm just going to clean that counter for 15 minutes. And that's it. If that's all I can do, if things aren't, I didn't get to wipe it down, it's a lot better. So for me, let's just say I did my 5 minutes and that's all I could do. I can just put my top 2 priorities, then I'm done, right? So which is nice and easy. So now do let me know. Of course, I'm seeing a lot of hearts on here. Thank you so much that you're hearting the live stream. But do make sure, of course, if you are getting value from this live stream or any of my videos, a like, clicking that thumbs up goes a long way. And of course, if you do have planners and plannerette friends that would get value from it as well, make sure that you are sharing this video, because sharing is, what is it caring, right? Okay, so make sure you do like it if you are getting value in today's live stream and video. So let me know if any of you use the 2 minute rule or a 5-10 minute rule. Type it in the chat, or if you are watching on replay, type it that you do use a timer for these little things. Now there are other timer techniques or strategies, like for example the Pomodoro technique, the 25-minute rule of working, take 5 minutes off and or a break and then 25 minutes. But this is this strategy, the 2 minute and 5 minute rule, is for when you are lacking motivation and discipline and you just need to build that momentum. Just get started, because sometimes it's the getting started that's the difficult part. So give yourself that little bit of a way to just go, little pull back and the 2 minute, 5 minute rule. Adriana says, my procrastination and lack of motivation always gets in my way. Yep. Caring. Thank you, Stan. Thank you, Stephanie. Yep. Procrastination. Now, here's the thing that I've learned as well. So if you find yourself, let's say, scrolling through your phone, watching reels, watching TikToks, if that is something you enjoy doing, right, make that an intentional part of your day. The thing that you need to make sure is so you don't fall into the trap like I have many times. Back in my day, when first got on Facebook, it was the Bejeweled. The Bejeweled. I don't know what the new thing is, where you go and try and figure out to get all the jewels off the screen, right? So Bejeweled, which is technically a 45-second or a minute game. And then this was when my sons were little babies. And then I found myself, playing Bejeweled, 45 seconds, then half an hour to an hour later, I'm still there. So if you are finding yourself procrastinating and you're feeling guilty being on your phone and scrolling, but it's something you enjoy. I know I enjoy watching Judge Judy videos. I love Judge Judy, right? So then what I do is I'll put the timer on for 5 minutes. I am allowing myself to watch, scroll, do all of that for 5-10 minutes, half an hour, or whatever it is. But if it's intentional, it's not procrastinating. So Adriana, if there's something that you enjoy, give yourself a limit, and then that way you're not craving it. All right, because if we're not allowed to do something, then we crave it more, and then we do it, and then we feel guilty, and then we fall into the spiral of thinking that we're not doing any work. So Marsha says, I've used the timer rule successfully for years. Exactly. And it's a new thing for me. So I forget. It's like, oh, just put the timer on, Marianne. Just do it for 5 minutes. And then that way, I get something done. Stephanie says, I use this time as well, especially when grading papers, lesson planning for work. I teach multiple grades, middle and high school, and man, some days, especially weekends, you just don't have the motivation. And that is why, hello, Irene, how are you? Nice to see you, budgeting mama. Um, Bejeweled, it was truly addictive, right? Exactly, exactly. So with regards to schedule in those breaks and those times that other people may think is a waste of time, but if it's bringing you joy. But the thing is, we want to make sure we don't fall in the trap of doing it for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. The sun's gone down and I'm still on the couch, on my phone. So now a big timer is so important. I love Visual, especially when they introduce the Zen mode. Ooh, no timer. Hello, Irene. Exactly. So really, really important that if you find yourself procrastinating, have a think. Is this something I enjoy? If it is, let me put a time limit. And then once this is done, or use it as a reward. All right. I think such a good segue, little Marianne, right? Implement a reward system. So for me, planning is actually in getting to play with my washi tape, stickers, and embellishing my pages with, making it pretty is a reward system. So what I'll do is I'll use that as a reward. It's like I won't be able to touch my planner until I have done this. So make sure that your reward system is is up. It balances out. So don't go, I'm going to do a 5-minute exercise and then give myself a a donut as a reward. Or make sure that it actually it's something that you enjoy. And the key to choosing a reward needs to be meaningful to you, and it's of course proportionate to the effort required for the task. I'm going to walk for 2 minutes and I'm going to go to McDonald's and have a big happy meal. No, maybe not that. So really, really important. So for me, the reward is actually, when I get to do something, I get to mark it on my planner. I get to highlight. I get, that little dopamine reward tick. I get to tick something off and cross something off my list. And sometimes, those 2-minute things that I said you should just do instead of putting on your planner. Sometimes I do them, but then still put them on my plan. So then I could just tick it. So then I feel like, yahoo, I've won. I've done something today. So implement a reward system. So whatever it is. The other thing that I'm, the home cleaning, right? So for me, for those of you that know, I want to get better at doing daily small cleaning tasks as part of my routine. So on my little habit tracker, so where is my, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So this is my free printable download, my habit tracker. So I'll have the link in the description. But one of the things I have here, so when I finish homeschool, I'm going to do 10 to 15 minutes of cleaning, and my reward is my coffee, my afternoon coffee. So then I enjoy my 3:30, 3 o'clock coffee. So what I'll do is before I make it, or before I get my son, the older one who comes home at school around about that time, is I'll do my cleaning first before I have my coffee. So implement a little reward system for you that incentivizes you, that makes you go, oh, I really want that, but I've told myself that I can have that once I've done this. So it's the implementation intention is that if I do this, then I get to do this. So and identify something that you enjoy. Don't go, if I do my cleaning, then I get to go for a walk. If, walking is not a reward for you. So really, really important. So what I'm going to do is, let's have a look. Okay, so my reward system would be, get on your live stream. You get to do then, which means you get to do your planning. So joining you guys is actually a reward for me, because I could have easily gone and put on, the YouTube community post, no live today, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling up to it. My mood is not there. But I know the reward system for me is, first of all, I get to chat to you. How fun is that, right? And then I get to play with my planner. So let me know, what reward system do you give yourself that allows you to do something, maybe a non-desirable and a desirable thing. So let me know. Marianne, totally off topic, but would you be able to give a review? Doesn't even have to be on here, about brass pencil you purchased from Milligram. I'm on the fence about it. Look, it is a little bit off topic, but that is a reward. Let's talking about reward. Maybe I'm rewarding myself too much. So this one is the brass pencil. And so these ones, I think that you can, here in Australia, I think like a little Keno. Do you have like Keno? These little, you pick the numbers, and here at pubs, they've got these small little pencils. So you don't even, I don't know if they fit, but so that has that, and then that goes in there. So these are my technical, Stephanie, these are my technical review. But what you do is then you take it out, and then that little ball there, and then becomes a full-size pencil. I love it. All right, so I don't have a sharpener with me when I'm out and about. I actually use my travelers. I'll just make sure my cards, it's full, it's chockers they call it. Make sure my card isn't showing. So I use this as my wallet, and I like to have a pencil. Somehow there is, I love the how it feels on paper, and just dotting down, that I can actually feel I can be messy with my writing. So I do love it. So it is a luxury item, as in, I could easily use pens and everything. Aesthetically as well, it looks beautiful. So I do love mine, Stephanie, and it's an investment that I've given myself, or a little reward. But please make sure, let me just tell you this, as much as I'd love to influence you guys with the things that I purchase, be financially responsible with your spending, because for me, in the last couple of weeks, maybe the last month, I haven't been as financially responsible. I have been nursing. I have been nursing my mood changes with some retail therapy. So February, I need to maybe have a no spend, because I have spent a lot. I will do an unboxing on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. I'll do an unboxing where I made some purchases that I probably don't even need. But and I maybe have justified it by saying, oh, as a content creator, I need to review those stuff. So yeah, that goes, this is also extra with the travelers, and that goes in there, and I just throw it in my bag. And I want it to be scratched up a little bit more, so I'm not too precious about it. So there you go, Stephanie, you're welcome. I love mine, and if I think that you like what I like, yeah, maybe it's an investment. And if you've got the travelers notebook thing as well, it does go pretty well with that. All right, so let me know, apart from buying stationery, what reward system do you have to get yourself out of that funk, to help motivate you if you don't have the discipline, or you just don't feel like it. And it could be just a little thing, or if you're at work, let's say if you're at work, right? So this is a 9-to-5 job. You know what, you can go, before I chat to my fellow desk neighbor, my fellow co-worker, I'll just quickly go and drink a glass of water, right? Before I go and make myself coffee, I'm going to quickly just go outside the building and walk around the block, or just get outside, get some fresh air, get the vitamin D, take deep breaths, and then I can have my coffee. So then that's part of your wellness and your well-being, and being mindful. So remember, procrastination, being motivated and having the discipline doesn't just mean tasks and work, right? It's about looking after ourselves, our self care, our mental well being, our physical well being, and just being mindful. If you are like me, we also sometimes get stuck in our head and spiral with low thoughts, with intrusive thoughts, and sometimes can get you down and immobilize you and makes you sit on the couch for a lot longer than you are. So have those little things of micro goals. Get outside, just put your face up to the sky, breathe in the fresh air, and what's that? Few seconds, micro goals, right? Use a 2 minute rule, the 5 minute rule. Let me just walk outside. For me, I live in an apartment block, so I don't have a backyard. So what I could do with my son, during homeschool is I actually take the opportunity to go, because he loves to go at the playground near us. So it's actually a tiny kids playground, but there is a climbing, equipment, and for his proprioceptive, so as part of his sensory processing needs, he needs to be climbing up, bouncing about. So we use that. So then for me, I use that as my little, 5 minute rule, that we go outside. He gets what he needs, and I also get to get myself outside. And of course, implementing a reward. Try not to implement a reward with financial spending if you have financial goals of either getting out of debt or saving up. So I just want to make that a little bit obvious, because I don't want anyone getting in trouble of making themselves, but Marianne bought it. So, so yeah, rewards. I have to work on this. Yeah, Elle, of course, as part of, so Elle has a YouTube channel named Sake Elle Naturally, that talk about skincare and hair care and looking after yourself. The reward could be that, if you've got something your eye on at Sephora, or anything like that, but before you buy it, maybe you could go, I need to finish this bottle first, because I know I bought another foundation recently, trying to get the right coloring for camera. So really, really important. Karen says, hi Marianne, I'm a planner addict but can never be consistent. Love the rewarding aspect. And do you know, if you love planning, Karen, maybe that's the reward, right? So you can be like, okay, before I get to play with my planners and set up my week, what is it that I need to do that matters to me? So really important. Sometimes we put too much emphasis and too much priorities on tasks that are someone else's, right, before we do ours. So I always say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. So before you check the emails, even though, emails, we think emails, try and get that inbox number, notification down to 0, or not in the 1,000, or not in the hundreds. But really, what we're doing is we're putting emphasis on someone else's priority. That if an email pops up, that we think we have to go and answer it right away, right? But that means you're putting importance on someone else's priority. That, oh, they've emailed me, I better answer back. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to, not as successful as I would like, is I go, okay, I'm going to check email at 9:30 or 10:30. I mean, for those, some of you may not be viable to have it checked that late in the day, or I'll go check it at 3 o'clock. That also allows people, that need your reply, to be put in their mindset that, oh, Marianne doesn't answer the emails right away. So it gives them, you are sort of like training them, right? You're training them that if they don't answer right, she doesn't answer right away, I know she'll answer by 4 o'clock. Or, or if it's urgent, if you just tell your workmates or whoever, if it's urgent, just call or text me. For those of us who don't like getting calls, just text me instead of emailing. But you will get an answer within the day, or whatever, within the next 24 hours. But for me, what I found is, oh, I answered it right away. And then when I can't answer it, if you're like me, you go, they normally answer right away. They haven't replied back in, within the half hour, an hour. What did I say? What, did I do something wrong? Have I offended them? So you're giving up the the person on the other side an expectation of being replied to right away. So hello Karen, welcome. That's right, you're so right. 2024 is me finishing old products first. And so that could be, you know, a little reward is like, oh, if I finish these bottles of lemon, then I can go and buy. Now maybe little the skincare and makeup L might be a little bit more difficult for you because it is part of your content creation, but whatever else it is. Now I actually do remember when I first met you, you were doing your walking and you were doing videos or shorts about it. So that could be, you know, one of the things is the reward is once I've gone after my walk, then I could go and play with my skincare or do, you know, whatever it is that we enjoy. So really, really important. All right. So, you know, I haven't really planned anything, have I, today? But that's what I say with the procrastination is like sometimes that is all I need. It's like that could get me started. So if I went and told myself that I need to have my planner all set up for the week right away, it can be such an overwhelming thing. And then that could put pressure on myself that, oh, I have to have everything done beautifully well. And especially for me as a, you know, a planning content creator, that, oh, I have to be on point, I have to be on call, I have to be on show. But I want to show to you that it doesn't have to be perfect for it to function. I can have that as is until the whole day, and then when I do find the motivation and the discipline, right, is when I can fill it out. But I might fill this out as I go throughout the week, right? Start small. Start with a 2 minute or 5 minute rule. And my reward is, you know what? I get to color it in, and then I can make it as a, you know, a mindful thing that, let's see, I get to put a washi tape on it. All right, so let's put some washi tape. Here's a pretty one. I'm not sure where I got this one. I think this is part of a 10 pack from Kmart here in Australia. Be kind. So you know what? I'm going to be kind to myself and not be worried that I do not have my week planner set up. So I've got to lead by example here, you know, and show you that if that's all I can do today, then that's all I can do today. Remember, originally, I wasn't even going to show up today. So that little showing up is my micro goal. So then that could be then be kind. Let's see, maybe I can go and just highlight this. So I get to play with my highlighters and stickers. So then I maybe can just highlight if that's all I can do. And you know what? I mean, without me talking, let's just say I was doing this on my own, not talking, not watching anything, not distracted about anything, right? This could be my meditation. This can be part of my mindfulness, right? Creating little, you know, little dash lines around my dates on my weekly planner. Others might think, what a wasted time, Marianne. But no, I'm intentional in what I'm doing here. It's because I am focusing on something. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not getting worried about, you know, what I may not have done, or, you know, that I'm not doing enough, the mum guilt, right? I acknowledge those feelings. If they come in, I'll acknowledge them, and then I'll let them go. I won't forget about it, but what it is for the moment is I'm being intentional with what I'm doing. So, of course, if you go, Marianne, I still find that a waste of time, do something else. Remember, your reward, your actions need to be yours. sometimes what happens when you know, we have a hobby or we do something that we like, and of course, we follow people like Marianne on YouTube and on Instagram, and then we go, I want to do it that way too, right? You can try it out, but then if it doesn't fit within what brings you joy, then don't do it, right? So then that little time where I just did that, yes, of course I was talking to you, but did you see how I slowed my breathing? I talk softly. I am letting my heart rate, slow down. My heart rate slowing down is telling my amygdala, that part of your nervous system, that there is no risk, there is no danger, right? So whatever it is that will allow you to focus on something, give yourself that little bit of space from your thoughts, slow it down, be mindful, and for that moment, just concentrate on what you're doing. You're giving your mental well-being a little bit of a reward system, a little bit of pat on the back. Hey, well done. You've taken your break today. Good job. Let's go and do another thing that makes us happy. Okay? Hello, Amy. I love to see you live today. Thank you so much for joining me. Run equals. After a run, I'm going to have a cookie, a donut, a cupcake, and cake. Mm. Remember, reward system needs to be proportionate to whatever you're doing. Amy says yes to starting small. Task initiation is a big challenge here too. One of the things, Amy is piano teacher. You know what? That's one of the things that I want to learn is, maybe I'll go have a look at some of Amy's Motif Music Studios little videos to just have a, because we don't have a piano, but in my apartment building there is a piano or a music room that could be part of my well-being and self-care is, teach myself how to play music. Such good tips for self-care and regulation. That's right. Even, doing the dun, 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 chopsticks. Is that what it is? Right? Very, very important. That's so sweet. That's neat. There's a piano. I know. And there's a drums and all these different things in the building. Yeah, so a part of our apartment block. So, all right. Now, with regards to, let me just whoop, right? Creating good habits. So you know what a habit of mine that I do really well? Is turning up to my lives, right? I probably missed a few here and there, but last year I showed up 62 times on a live stream. And this is when I was healing from my mental breakdown. So because I have built the habit of showing up here live, even though I sometimes don't want to, don't feel it, don't have the energy, don't know what I want to present to you as my viewer, I'm still showing up because I've built that muscle. I've done it enough times that I actually, feel like, oh, it's weird not being on. It's like, what do I do? It's like it'll throw the rest of my day by not coming on live. So it's creating good habits is really important. And you have to start small. You can't go like for me with Amy, right? I can't go, I want to be able to play Mozart. No, I got to start small. Maybe do my scales. Maybe just know where, middle C is on the keyboard, right? So start small. But establishing a good habit is actually so crucial for long-term success. I am proud to say I have turned up most week here on YouTube to be on a live stream, and it's something I enjoy because it's a reward, right? So you've got to do something that, if there's something you're doing that you don't like, find something else. For me, I don't like cardio workout. So, like traditional cardio workout. Maybe I will pick up dancing instead, get my heart rate up, but then enjoy dancing. So it's creating good habits will help you overcome those low moments when the motivation isn't there, right? Because motivation is fleeting. It actually doesn't stay. That's why February, a lot of people who made resolutions at the beginning of the year fall off the wagon because there's no more motivation. The newness is gone. The the reality of, oh, I got to do this day in, day out, week in, week out. Oh no, oh, I don't want to. And you know what? You know what happens when we don't want to do something? We do the, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that, right? So do something because, um, how is it like when there's something you want to do? You'll go and drop everything else off to do that, right? So really important. So a habit is when you do something pretty much now automatically, right? So it becomes habitual. There's less thinking because you'll just do it. So now it's like on a Sunday, I know I go, well, I got to go to bed early because I got to wake up early to put my face on at 4:30 to be ready at my 5:30 live stream. Right, so really, it's habit forming. So when you consistently engage in habits that are positive, that bring you joy, then it's in your brain, insane in the membrane, right? And then it makes it easier for you to stay on track, even when you are faced with challenges of lacking the energy. For me, my mood this week has just been up and down. So, hello, Keith. Oh, I see Keith is here. Something's clicking on. So let me just have a look. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. It's like mental muscle, exactly. Mental muscle memory. Habit. Building your habit muscle. Hello, great to see you here too. I love it. You guys are so good that we get to hang out here. Now, speaking of habits, let me have a look. All right, I have let's see if this will work. So for those of you, right, I'm going to have a free webinar, Mastering Habit Tracking. So you saw that little printable download that I created. So this is free. So that one, right? For those of us that are new to habit tracking, or if you have been habit tracking for a while but fall off the wagon, or if you just want more tips, right? So I have a free webinar that's happening next Monday, right? So, or your Sunday, which is probably an hour. Well, it's an hour and a half after my normal live stream. So it's like a back-to-back live stream. So it's my very first webinar. So I would love for you guys to be able to join me. If you can't, of course, still register, because then you'll get to watch the replay. So this will allow those of us that, because I had to make that. I made this, the thing here, that habit tracker that's in the picture, I made that originally for myself, is because sometimes when you sort of have too much on, then you don't get anything done, right? So again, making it more narrow focus. So make sure, if you can join me for the free webinar, this will allow you to the different steps to take on how to build better or more effective habits, right? So it's really, really, yay. um uh, uh I always try to catch me. Yes, and I love seeing you guys here. Thank you so much. Yay, yay, yay. What a great idea, Marianne. Yay, I'm so signed up. Will you still be doing your... Yes, I'm still going to, because it's going to be weird for me again. It's like I'm going to have to, so I still need to plan for the week. So yes, it'll be two back-to-back lives. So very, very important. You just answer the question. Disregard my post. Yes, I've got two lives. So on my time, it's 8 o'clock, and I think it's what's that in your time? So whatever it is in when you register, it'll on the top it'll tell you what it is in your time zone. So yeah, so really important. Let me just make sure that I've got it. So yeah, so the importance of creating good habits. This free webinar would allow you, whether you're new to habit tracking, you've been doing it for a while and just keep falling off the wagon, or you're good at some stuff, but then some habits you just, because that's me, that's where I am. I'm good at a lot of my wellness, my morning journaling, my meditating, my reading, my tracking my expenses, but then my workout and my cleaning habits. Oh, and the thing that I've started to pick up a lot is connecting with family and friends in my community. That was one of the big work that I did last year, is getting better at that. But there are still some habits that I want to get better at. So this is why I created that tracker, because even though I've been doing habit tracking for 6 years, there's still stuff that we've got to have the beginner's mind. You can always keep learning. So really, really important. Now, it's also, what's important is having a system and process. So whether, it is a planner, if you've got a to-do list on the wall, if you've got a whiteboard, having a system that you can go back to, that you trust. There is no point like, I could set this up beautifully, and then if I close the book, right, and then pop it on my shelf, and then don't look at it for the rest of the week, it's not a trusted system. So do something, whether it's digital, whether it's a paper planner, whether it's just a small little, spiral notebook that you put your tasks, or to-do list, whatever it is, it needs to be a system and a process that you can refer back to when the day has fallen, or, it's in disarray, the weather's gone off, you didn't bring an umbrella, and so now you got to go and, you're all wet, and then you're late for work, whatever it is, you didn't pack your lunch, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? A system allows you to go, what do we need to do next? It's that recipe, right? It's like your recipe for the day. So have a system that is well defined, that you can go, and it's sort of helps like a stakeholder on the ground. It's like, I've used this analogy before, but it's like those little lights in the movie theater, when the lights have gone down and the credits start, or, the movie, and you need to get to your seat, but then there's those little lights down the aisle, up the stairs that'll lead you to your chair. Your system allows you to go and follow a path for when you are feeling low, the motivation is there and the discipline is not there. Now, so whatever the system is, it can be priorities of the day. It can be habit trackers. Oh, where's my habit tracker? Habit tracker, right? A little habit tracker. It can be the post-it note on your fridge, whatever it is. It will help you pick yourself up when the motivation isn't there, your energy level's not there, and, you don't know what to do next because you're in your own head. So, and it stops you from having to constantly make decisions, right? Because your brain is actually not for storing things to remember, like pick up the dry cleaning, do the cleaning tasks, do this, do that, right? It's for creativity. So getting it down on paper means you're more likely to do it than not, all right? And if you're like me, in your perimenopause journey, brain fog is, coming more and more obvious. So it's important that having a system that works for you. So let me know your thoughts. Have you got any aha moments today? Are you going to implement any of the, excuse me, speaking of important things, drinking water, right? So let me know if you got any aha moment. Start small, micro goals, and make sure it's specific, fixed, physical, actionable tasks or goals. Use a 2-minute rule or a 5-minute rule. If it can get done in under 2 minutes or less, do it now. Don't worry about putting it on your list, or just do it for 5 minutes, or just do something for 10 minutes. Put your timer on, and once it's done for 5 minutes, stop. Don't keep going, unless, of course, you want to. And that's the whole point. It's the getting started that gets a little bit hard, right? Implement a reward system. Before I do this that I enjoy, I'm going to do this. So it's actually a methodology that I use with my son. So if there's undesirable task that he doesn't want to do, I'll follow it up with desirable stuff. So, Zach, let's do addition for 10 additions, and then you can have a break. See, It works for the neurodivergent, people, as well as typical minded people, right? So give yourself a little reward. Create good habits allows you to build that habit muscle that doesn't, which means you'll start building momentum. And then, of course, having a system and a process is very, very important. Stephanie says it's like the pregame before the main show. Yes, my next week's lives, is that what you go to? Marianne, double live. Right, no one but two, but wait, there's more. Exactly. Hello, Keith, and hello, Stan. I did add a visual calendar in our hallway as I was struggling so much with the family calendar. It's really helped reduce my stress. Exactly. I just I got a whiteboard and I put it in the kitchen because everyone's in the kitchen next to the fridge. And then on there, my husband, he's the one who cooks our dinners. It has what dinner we're having for the week, so then we know we're not asking. And also it is, I put in like the older son swimming, less carnival is on today. For my younger son who's on the autism spectrum, that loves to know exactly what's happening as he has difficulty transitioning from one thing, he'll know when his therapist will have the therapist available. But yeah, so having something that's visual, whether it's on the wall, in your planner, on a post-it note, whatever it is that will help remind you, that's a great system. My young one, he has woken up, and so if you do hear him, that he is walking about. So those strategies that I spoke about, right? Combination of those, all of those, some of those, start small. You don't have to implement all of them all at the same time. Really important. So now, like I said, make sure to register for my here we go, register for my free webinar. And of course, if you do find yourself lacking the motivation or the discipline, or the other side of things is that you have way too much on your task, on your task list, you feel like you're falling behind and it's stressing you out, I do have a video in the link right now of how to use a running to-do list to simplify the task that you have going for yourself. So in the description, or once the live stream has been finished, click or tap the screen. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me in today's live stream. I will see you again next week. I'll try and do another video actually this week, because I want to do a flip through of my planner pages for January, so you can see how I did for January. But I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So click this here if you find yourself getting overwhelmed or stressed with all your tasks. Thank you so much. Have a great week, everybody.